still be there on your end, but it's not on mine. About another, there we go.
Okay.
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 Anyway, hi. And Elizabeth, also here is Kate Zankowitz, if I think I pronounced that correctly.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
And
Hey.
Hi.
she'll tell you who
Hi.
she is in a, okay, she can tell you now. We haven't really officially convened the meeting. I don't know if anyone else is coming. Hopefully, yes.
Okay.
What you want me to do, Laura?
Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself to Elizabeth. We just might do it twice.
Okay. So I'm Kate Zankwitz. I'm the program manager for Rediscover Center Mid-City. We are a sustainable makerspace located on Washington Boulevard between Gramercy and Wilton. And we are experiencing our grand open in, gosh, it's less than 2 weeks away. It's April 21st. I'm really excited about it. And UNNC is going to be there and have a table. One of the things that makes us really special is that we are a sustainable makerspace. So everything that we work on is rescued from landfill. And we focus on putting real tools in the hands of kids. And we also do a lot of multi-generational experiences because we also have educational programs that really span from youth to seniors. So we have a woodworking area of our new studio, cardboard construction, sewing station with donated fabrics. It's really an incredible magical place where you can just come build something and let your creative expression run wild. So we're really excited to be opening up and excited for the event on April 21st.
So Elizabeth, I don't know, did you see Dolores's email a couple days ago?
No.
Well, apparently you and I are the official point people for Kate for this event for UNNC, since it's an environmental, it's an Earth Day event.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you and I had talked about it, Elizabeth, but it's on tonight's agenda. I guess, what do you think? Should we call the meeting to order, make this official since we're being recorded, show the agenda, and then move back to this?
Yeah. It sounds
Okay.
great. Sounds great.
And is there any way that you are able to be on video? Or are you kind of
How long?
in a...
No. Yeah. No. Let me get to a parking lot, I think, where
Okay.
I can get some light and I can stop my car. I'll tell you that it's been a very crazy, busy day, and I don't have a car charger with me.
Oh.
I don't have the cord, and I have 22% battery. So.
Oh, yikes. So we'll make this a fast meeting.
Let's please. And
Yeah, well, I want to make it a fast meeting anyway. So,
okay. It'll be efficient. And let me just get one more minute, and I can be on video.
And I'm only being a little bit technical here because the new state law does say be on video. But, I've been to, at this point, many neighborhood council meetings in the last month and a half where they're not on video. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to be the driver tonight. Kate, really, Elizabeth's the chair, and I'm the Zoom helper. But, here we are. And so far, we have no other participants. So the agenda is up on the screen. It says, welcome, call to order, review the agenda. Pardon?
I couldn't get my Spotify to stop. It's playing a podcast, and I even uninstalled it. So I might try to, if you don't mind, I'd like to hang up and call you back again.
That's fine.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
But I'll keep going. So,
yes, please.
Yes. So general public comments, and then a very brief discussion about this LA Sanitation Comprehensive Plastics Reduction Program draft program, EIR. And then we'll talk about the Earth Day and then any announcements or old business. So this should be a brief meeting, other than we'll talk about Earth Day. And don't think there's anything else on this agenda, and there is not. So I'm going to stop the share. Here she comes back. So hi again. So I was saying we're just going to be very brief on much of this. You're back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here.
Okay, so we did welcome, we did introductions. Well, I guess I'll introduce myself for the tape, and so will Elizabeth. My name is Laura Myers, and I am the Vice President of United Neighborhoods Neighborhood Council, and I am, for this environmental committee, Elizabeth's Zoom host. Elizabeth Finner, we'll say hello in a moment, is our chairperson. Elizabeth, you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Sir, can you hear me? I'm Elizabeth
Yes.
Finner. Yeah, a long time environment and happy to be part of this committee. Feeling supported in my strange situation today of being on the road.
That's cool. That we sometimes have a lot of busyness. Okay, the first item is general public comments on any item that is not on this agenda. Hearing nothing, moving on. The second item on the agenda is the massive draft environmental impact report from the Department of Sanitation for its plastics reduction program. So the report itself is 1,500 pages long. It's all about what they're calling upstream and downstream measures. Upstream is their way of saying reducing the amount of plastic arriving to LA, essentially. So in other words, using less plastic, creating legal measures, regulations that would have less plastic. And downstream is about doing better recycling, more or less. I mean, I'm really summarizing. And for their environmental impact report, the draft, they're basically saying there are very few impacts of this major program. And so there's, in the 1,500 pages, there are very few what would be called mitigations. I've attended the webinar and then replayed it a second time. The tape is available on the website. The one thing that struck me was the naive response to several of the land use kind of measures. I keep looking at the computer and I should be looking at you on the screen. So they're saying in this draft environmental impact report that there would not be any significant impacts related to where they place their downstream recycling facilities, even though some of them quite large, because they would only, swear to God, only choose places that are zoned properly for that use. But that's sort of without regard to the fact that the city has dropped its regulation that does not permit housing in places that are zoned for manufacturing uses. So I think that's the only thing I would want to comment on. So, and I could pick the pages. So Elizabeth, what we agreed at the governing board was that we can draft a little something and the executive committee can approve it. We don't have to go back to the board. The deadline is April 26th. But but we don't need to go back to the board and have them approve a comment letter. So my understanding is that the NCSA is generally speaking in support of it. And the coalition, the Recycling Reduction Coalition they're a part of, is generally speaking in support of this, but neither one has posted its comments. So I don't have anything else to pull from. And, I always look at land use. So that's the gist of it is maybe we're never going to have anything to write about except for the thing I spotted. But I think the thing I spotted is a good thing to comment on. So if you ever get the time, maybe this weekend.
Saying is how. Yeah, well, I'm doing my X's, but I would skim this. I would read this. I think it's untenable that it's 1,500 pages. I mean, that's just
crazy. Although if it's online, I can skim through and do a word search and get a general of it. I'm committed to doing that. There's got to be more to comment on. Besides the fact that, I mean, how can a 1,500 page, I mean, how does it hope being passed?
Well, 1,500 pages
It
is
seems
short,
like it
not
would-
long, by the way. I've
is that
had to
right?
deal with 3,000 page ones in the past, so.
Wow.
15, I mean, it is too much, but they're doing that to be legal, lawsuit proof. That's why it's so long. So anyway, this was just what struck me from the webinar. And I keep hoping that those organizations that have really been engaged in this effort would post their thoughts before the last minute to help the rest of us mere mortals. But so far they haven't, as of today, still have not posted. So like I said, the good news is we have a little time because we can, whatever we're going to write, the executive officers can approve by email. So we are at least, I got that done at the board. Okay?
Okay.
So there's no position we're taking tonight.
Okay, so that's fine. And our working deadline is when?
Well, the absolute positive latest deadline is 5 p.m. April 26th, and we can't give it to the officers that morning.
Sure.
So I would say the weekend before that, which puts us right on the same weekend as our event. Yay.
Yes. Yeah.
Earth Day weekend, the 20th and 21st.
Okay, so maybe that is actually, I mean, if you could provide a synopsis of the bill and have it at the table and get people's thoughts, I mean, maybe this is what the table could also be about, right?
Yes, that's true.
Because
I mean, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And then our absolute deadline would be the next day, Elizabeth, because we have to give the officers a chance.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds
okay.
wonderful.
Good plan.
I mean, that's absolutely thematically appropriate at the Earth Day event. We do a lot of stuff with single-use plastics to make sure that they end up in science projects and art projects and are not single-use. So absolutely anything that you can bring that talks about legislation that has a huge impact on our lives that is around single-use plastics or recycled, that's completely, I'm on board.
Okay, well then we have a plan. Noting we'll be wasting some paper, just saying.
Well, is there a way to get a synopsis? Like,
I have a 31-page synopsis, so we'd have to create a synopsis of the synopsis.
Right.
But it's doable. But it's still, I mean, it's still, it's okay. It's still paper and it's okay. I'll buy some recycled paper to print onto.
Okay. Come to Rediscover. We have lots of stuff that's printed on the other side that you could use. Guilt-free.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, maybe not. That might not be good for the printer though. You know how these manufacturers are.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, they don't want you to dump it. Okay, well, anyway, but that's a really good plan. So we'll figure something out that does add to our table.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And
that's a piece of the activism that we would love to be able to support.
Great. Yeah.
Any other thoughts on that, Elizabeth?
No, I think we're good. I think we have a good
let's
plan.
migrate to the event. So I'm going to share the screen, Kate, with your nice flyer.
Well, thank you.
Because I don't know if Elizabeth has seen this yet. Oops.
Yeah, I think I saw that somewhere.
I probably sent it to you.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay, can I move? There we go. So, but I would like to know, Kate, who else is having a table and is this event going to be just in the Sunny Plaza, or are you going to move it to the shady interior plaza, or is it using the community room?
Let me just get more light because I just got hold on one second. Let me just turn the light on.
Right. Are you having a solar eclipse?
Oh, now it's like interrogation lighting. Sorry. I only have absolute darkness or interrogation lighting. So the event is going to have There's one, well, let me just do a run through. We are having around 4 artist stations. So we have Woodworks, which is an organization that helps people who have been formerly incarcerated or have experienced homelessness to become employable in woodworking and carpentry. So their artisans are going to come and do a woodworking whistle activity with folks that day. So that's a really cool woodworking thing that's happening. We'll also be doing tool demonstrations on the half hour in the studio. So there are things that are happening in the studio, but our thought was that actually all of the community stuff would happen on the outside as well. So we were thinking of actually having the tables with community partners sort of along in that inner courtyard area.
Well, that's what I meant. In the inner courtyard, meaning that's usually private, or in the outer, the outer sun-filled courtyard.
That's correct. Yes.
So will there be tents, or will we be wearing hats?
We have 3 tents. And there's one other community organization coming, but I don't have the details. I can get that for you later. We have Amazing Grace, one other table, like an information table. But we have Amazing Grace Conservatory coming with their youth choir. They're going to be kicking off the opening ceremony. We have Council District 10, Daniel Muro from Council District 10 is coming. There will be a ribbon cutting of some sort. We're getting a scroll. So that's all great stuff that's going to happen around noon. The event itself is 11 to 3 and it's drop-in. So people will be filtering in and out throughout the day. We expect to have like 500 people coming. I'm not sure what our current RSVP is. Of course, lots of people will not RSVP. They'll just show up on the day of, but we have been doing some RSVPs just to get some emails of people. And so that right now, I believe is, the last time I checked was at least 100. So we know we have people who are committed to coming. And we've been pushing it out with all of our school partners and community partners. So in terms of the activities, just what else is happening that day, I mentioned the wood whistle and the wood demonstrations. There will also be a make your own environmental hero sort of wearable cardboard amazingness. So we'll have that. And we also are going to have an artist do a balancing sculpture with recycled materials. So we'll have actually both our unit and the unit beside, which is part of the housing, which is part of Gramercy Apartments. We're also going to rent out that first floor. And so we'll have an area with a wind tunnel for the kids to experiment with structure, and then a balancing sculpture. So there'll be a few areas that are sort of activated for multi-generational fun. And then we're also doing a giant collaborative pangolin and a few collaborative projects which are designed to get people to make things and then add them to something in the space. So that's going to be really fun. And I'm trying to think of the other activities. I think I'm probably missing one, but it's in that sort of spirit of that kind of collaborative, making together, putting something together. Yeah.
Okay. And so are you providing tables and tablecloths? Yeah. I mean, in other words, we don't need to bring that, or do we?
We have tables. Do we
need to bring it's okay if we need to bring our own tablecloth, meaning Elizabeth doesn't need to bring a tablecloth, but UNNC is going to give me a go bin.
Yeah, if there's something like logo specific or color specific that you need.
So that royal blue that they like to show up with is also happens to be our color, or orange, or who cares?
Right.
It just doesn't matter. You know,
Okay.
in other words, if your event's going to have a color of tablecloths for the places you just described, go with that. Is CD10 renting everything? I mean, how is this working? Or are you renting it?
The adjacent space? No, we are.
No, the tables and chairs.
No, it's just all generated in-house. We have tons of folding tables and chairs.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so we weren't going to do a rental, but we're not really that concerned about everything looking uniform because we have another artist who's doing recycled flowers, and she's going to bring sort of like her color scheme. So it's not important for things to look uniform.
Yeah, well, for us, I just want to make sure we show up. We don't show up and you say, wait a minute, weren't you bringing your table with you? Because, but we can do a little bit of this offline.
Yeah.
What our outreach chair has done for UNNC is she's emailed the entire board plus a few others like Elizabeth to say, we need 2 people every 90 minutes, but that includes setup and takedown. So, 2-person shifts. But then she said, and Elizabeth and Laura will be in charge. And it's like, okay, yay, because we are the outreach chairs, not. But we do have, the environmental committee members. And then Elizabeth, do we still have the seed packets? Not necessarily with seeds in them, but the packets I bought. And and are they labeled with UNNC labels? I can't remember. How did we do that?
Nope, they're not. They could be. Is there a stamp or are there labels?
Well, we could print mailing labels, basically.
Okay.
I mean, if you tell me the size, I print them. Oh, she's yawning.
Sorry.
But
absolutely, I can do that.
But do we have seeds? Or
Yes,
do we need
we
to buy
have seeds.
seeds? We have seeds.
No, we have seeds and we have envelopes, so we can bring those, and a label would be great. I remember I wrote wildflowers on them before, so that'll be a nice giveaway, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have the handouts we had last year that include plastic reduction. I mean, I don't know if we physically have them or if I have to print them again, but we have something like that. And we will have the UNNC flyers. So it'll be a normal outreach event. And at least a few people have already signed up to help us. And what we want, Elizabeth, is Marius and Christy, our usual people. And even though Charlie is not officially on the committee anymore, I mean, she came last year because her daughter hung out at your booth. We had a not very successful Earth Day event last year, but you guys participated, but you weren't there yet. And one of our members has a lot of child care responsibilities, but her daughter loves you guys, so she might come.
Great, that's great.
So,
yeah.
So Elizabeth, do you have any questions on this?
I like the timing. I'm thinking that we would serve visitors well to go to the farmers market, the Wellington Square Farmers Market, and leave people with flyers there. Hand out flyers.
So hand out flyers there.
Because if they're coming, no, the week of,
but also maybe get some postcards from them and have them at the event.
That too, cross-pollination. But people who are out at the farmers market already and probably got there in their cars, I think they'd be willing to just go down the street for a grand opening.
Right.
Of something.
Yeah.
And I think
so. Kate, you have postcards for the event, or just postcards for? What do you have?
I know we have this flyer. I know that we go to Wellington Farmers Market, and I'm not sure if we're going on that day, but that's a really good point. That if someone from our team is going on that day, they can. That's a really good note that they should be.
Nudging them.
Yeah. And our cards right now that we're printing right now are opening cards with all of our offerings. Like, what can you do at Rediscover? It's kind of like an info card, and it tells you all of our open hours, all our free hours, and all of our programs. So we have 1,000 of those coming any day now. So yeah.
Is that the one that you brought a sample of to our executive meeting?
No, that particular card was made before we were open. This is about what does a week look like at Rediscover? Like, you can come on Fridays from 3 to 8, drop on in and make something.
Oh,
you can come on, Saturdays 10 to 4. These are the weeks that we have summer camps. These are the weeks that so it has sort of every kind of. It's more programmatic in terms of its focus.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Great.
All right. And then I just have a side question for you, Kate.
Yeah.
Not about this event, but on Saturday, May 4th, so it's 2 more weeks after that, a group that I don't know the name of is doing a play street on 24th between Hoover and Catalina in front of the Panorama, the Valis, I can't.
Yeah,
The
I
Valislavia Panorama.
Yeah.
Do you know about this?
No, I'm a big fan of that panorama, and
Right. So, are you a fan of play streets? So this is because I had mentioned to Sarah Vilas, your organization, and said, "Can I talk to them and put everybody together because maybe they
Yeah.
want to be at this because it's all about play."
that's fantastic. Oh my goodness, we need to know these people.
Yes, yes. Well, and Elizabeth, just the reason I know about this is that West Adams Heritage is going to be one of the booth people.
Great. Great.
And we're going to do not a photo booth, maybe photo op, but with selfies with, historical hats and,
So
Nice.
and then coloring books, coloring pages, hopefully with, Victorian houses or something.
Okay. Oh,
Something
nice.
done, something done like that.
So
Wasting more paper.
May 4th, I know we have at 10 to 4 in our location on May 4th. There's a group of volunteers who want to do a Star Wars themed event. And so we're doing a May 4th, May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Happening in
Oh.
space, which doesn't mean we couldn't be involved with something else, but that's what's happening.
Well, well, maybe it could be at our table, not UNNC, but this other one, and just have a piece of a table.
Yeah, okay.
With Anna play activity. Okay, so back to this because it's off topic and it's a public meeting that's being recorded. So, so the main thing is what time is set up? That's a good question to ask because we have to be good to go by 11. But what time to start?
10 a.m. We're saying an hour before.
Okay. And when my fellow board members ask me, will there be any food? What's the answer to that?
We are getting a whole bunch of snacks and beverages donated. So there will be snacks and beverages, nothing like a food truck or anything like that, but definitely like snacks and water and juices and things like that.
But they should bring their little sack lunch if they need to have lunch.
If they need something more substantial, yes.
Okay. They probably don't for a 90-minute shift.
Right.
So Elizabeth and I might if we have to stay longer, but they probably don't. Okay. I have no other questions. Do you, Elizabeth?
Nope. No, I don't. No, it sounds exciting. It sounds really well planned. Boy, it's just, I mean, it's got so many things. It's just about bringing the people. It's just about bringing the people. And so I guess publicizing it as many places as possible, right? The elementary schools,
Right.
The library down the street, and just getting people to talk about it.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a choir, but man, and no, it just sounds so amazing. All I want is for it is a crowd. That's all. I mean, are you going to close the street? Yeah. Are you going to?
We haven't had any of those conversations.
No, that means the answer is no, because it's too late if you haven't started.
I also feel like, we want it to be sort of like people who don't know about it can still come. And it's just, so we're just gonna see what happens. This is our first time doing this and at this location and this, so we're just gonna see sort of how it all turns out. And, these things have a way of just flowing, and I think it'll be fine. There's, plenty of off-street parking, and people hopefully will just walk to the event or walk by the event and be like, what's this? Yeah.
Are you across it? No, let's see. You're closer to the Debbie Allen dance thing.
That's closer
Yes.
to, like we're right across from Charlie's Fixtures, like where it used to be.
They're on the corner of my block, Elizabeth. Gramercy,
Okay.
and Washington.
I was just wondering about that market on the corner of Arlington and Venice?
Yeah,
Or no, Arlington and Washington? No, that's Venice,
yeah,
I
there
think.
is a little market. I don't know if that's the market you're thinking of.
No, it's it's the other one. It's a big one on the corner of, now I'm going to say it's Venice and Arlington. Yeah,
Food market. That one?
the food.
Oh,
Yeah, the
World
World Food Market.
Harvest. World Harvest.
World Harvest. It seems like I don't know how many people go there on a Sunday or if they're even open.
No,
Yeah,
no, not anybody goes there on a Sunday.
It's
Because they're
closed?
closed.
They're closed on Sunday.
They are
Okay.
closed.
You're right.
But-
I was in there the other day and it was really busy. So I have to, start dropping off these flyers for sure.
Yeah, if you got 1,000 of them, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
by the way though, Kate, Glenn, who's World Harvest, might make a donation of food to you. Yes.
That's awesome.
Wow,
Wow.
that's great.
I mean, he's very, very generous. But it
Wow.
also depends on what's been donated to him.
Right.
Everything to him is donated. And there's often things donated to him that he doesn't really have a marketplace for at World Harvest for any number of reasons, including they might be something packaged in a way he can't sell them because he's not licensed to.
Right.
So you might, so since you're familiar with the market, you might check in.
Yeah. So would I just walk over there and introduce myself? Is that okay?
I think, yeah. And if he's in a good mood, he'll donate.
Okay.
And
Okay. What's his name?
Glenn,
Glenn. Okay.
I don't remember his last name.
Okay.
But again, he's dealing with donated foods. So in the past, I mean, he's donated like wrapped Japanese pastries, mystery pastries,
Right.
but they were good and they were pre-wrapped.
Yes. Yes.
They just weren't a marketplace item in that store.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check.
All right. Great. Guys, I'm down to 5% and I'm determined to turn my phone off before it actually dies.
Okay. So let's adjourn the meeting.
Okay. Sorry. And this
No,
is a
that's
wonderful
okay.
event. I can't
Is that
wait.
okay with you, Kate?
Of course. Thank you so much for everything, and thank you so much for your support.
Right.
Oh, it's gonna be yeah.
And
You'll get a
UNNC
day off, yeah.
UNNC will push out the flyer this week.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you, Elizabeth.
All right. Nice to meet you. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.